Hey folks, how you all doing? This is Con Orc coming to you with some more Company of Heroes 2 1v1 action. This map is Westwall, and these players are Von Ivan over in the east playing the Osttruppen Doctrine. Sounds like fun. And over here on the western side playing the USF. It's going to be the red trunked forces of Dave. And these guys are having a little bit of chummy conversation right now. Always nice to see. Dave might be bringing to the fray Rifle Company, Armor Company, and Heavy Cav Company. Von Ivan is looking to bring in Osttruppen, and he says, hey, let's, got thinking after that game, don't know what game he's talking about, but let's see if this works. It was actually kind of amusing to me to check out the fact that Von Ivan's guys, while playing the Wehrmacht, of course, his commander choices had basically three different ideas. Either it was cheap, kind of low-grade infantry with the Osttruppen, or it was mechanized assault for the Assault Grenadiers, or was elite troops doctrine with the Jaegers. So it was kind of an interesting triad moving forwards. But no, he's going for Osttruppen, which means that he can bring in super, super crazy amounts of spammable troops. Dave, in the meantime, is bringing in a, rear echelon rifleman and a second rifleman squad, going a little bit non-meta, which is kind of nice. I always like when players don't go meta. And Von Ivan, it looks like he's testing out a new build by himself, bringing one squad of real infantry, well, if you can call Osttruppen real infantry, and then going for two MG42s. Where's his first one going? Well, he's going up to the north to pick up the fuel point. My question is, will he extend all the way to the north and then pick up this house? Or will we see the first mini engagement between the rear echelons and him? Meanwhile, to the south, the Americans have picked up their own fuel, and Pioneers are engaging these rear echelons from a distance with their MP40s. Riflemen are coming in behind, though, which is going to be bad news bears for the Pioneers. Okay, so he's able to get into this house. Never mind. Things are all fine and dandy. Looks like Von Ivan will go and pick up the center VP, and in the north, his MG42 will get this VP before he takes any serious engagement. Dave going for a modified meta. Looks like he's got that. I thought he was not going to go meta, but, might be doing that after all. MG setting up. Doesn't set up in time to get, actually, doesn't even move to get into the house. And now three different squads of Osttruppen are out on the field. Now these guys are really unfortunate. They still don't fire on the move, and it's one of those weird things. I just kind of wish that they did. That'd make them so much more palatable to me, but they're just not good enough otherwise. Where is that mortar being placed? He's coming down right now, 81mm mortar. Probably going to go start lofting rounds onto this garrison. In the meantime, we will see that these riflemen are going to get suppressed by this MG42 pretty darn quickly. Another rifleman squad is coming in behind those, so the question is how long? No, they're not going to keep it there for very long. And indeed, we will see, yep, those rounds falling on the garrison, but the Osttruppen are already out and firing into the riflemen as they retreat. Is that a tech up at all? I think I just saw both of them flicker. Nope, never mind, not a tech up. Alright, riflemen in the middle part of the field going and decapping. Meanwhile, to the northern side, Osttruppen are trying to go and engage against rear echelons. And it's embarrassing when the guys who are just like medics and engineers and cooks and all those dudes in the backfield are kicking your line infantry. You see it right there. Look at all these bodies right here. 5 guys go down to rear echelons. How embarrassing is that? You see it happening again right here. So Osttruppen are being called in by the dozens. And the Americans are sending all of them right back home to Romania, to Bulgaria, all of them in their boxes. The long, long wooden boxes. Alrighty though, Von Ivan has taken a light lead already. 500 to 460. He's jumping into this church, praying that maybe some divine inspiration will allow him to get some more damage done to all the Americans that are just all over the place. Did you drop more rounds on top of this house? Yes, he is. He's just trying to take out the garrisons, it looks like. It's really the only thing that Osttruppen are decent at doing, which is holding garrisons. And that's really just because they're just bodies. Bunker being thrown down as... Oh, both... Okay, 2 squads throwing down a bunker. Alrighty. Interesting decision. And Dave has called in a lieutenant. So, of course, that lieutenant with the BAR is just going to carve a bloody harvest through these Osttruppen. Two guys up in the Belfry, proving that those Osttruppen are quite crazy. There's no bats up there, but there's a couple of Osttruppen. They're going to bolt right now. Will it be a dead squad? No. And indeed, we'll see this MG42 is actually putting fire like crazy into these riflemen, forcing them back. These Pioneers not quite able to hit that church. It's probably a lucky thing for the Americans. Meanwhile, to the north, Osttruppen are dueling with rear echelons and finally getting their revenge, taking them down to one model before he backs away. And Pioneers rushing on forwards to the front. Another thing reminds me right here, has anyone seen, oh my gosh, the Eagle has landed. A very, very interesting movie. Going to the idea of Michael Caine as a Fallschirmjäger officer. I think it's Fallschirmjäger, it might be SS, but Fallschirmjäger officer, I think. And a plot to kidnap Winston Churchill.
Enemy is taking our territory.
Church forms a little bit of action during that movie. It's a very, very interesting movie. If you haven't seen it, I advise you to check it out. Quite fun. In the meantime, Dave has called in an ambo. His troops apparently need the TLC, and I can't say that I blame him. MG42 locking down this area right here, pouring fire into these houses, driving down the resale value like crazy. And between the MG42s are forming a very, very good wall here, and the Americans are not cut off from all of their resources. There is practically nothing there that they can do. They have called in a 50 cal, whichever gets in place will do a good job. Unfortunately, for the time being, we will see Osttruppen taking the southern fuel, leaving the northern one for its own devices for the time being. One machine gun getting forced away. And Von Ivan, is he going to tech up at all? He's not teching up. Okay, battle phase 1. There we go, finally. Rear echelon's taking a strategic point, but they still are not in supply here. This machine gun, though, is either going to get away now or he's going to take devastating losses. He's already down to 50% in terms of models and health. And there we go, finally. The Americans will get resources back into supply. Looking at the southern side of the map, we're going to see the 50 cal setting up. And luckily for the Osttruppen, the mortar is not putting fire down. Alrighty, in the meantime, where are we going with this? Okay, battle phase 2 coming already. And there's the mortar rounds coming on in. Since Osttruppen have to be careful. If it takes too many rounds to the face with this mortar, he's going to get an entire thing dropping way, way too quickly. And there, okay, oh gosh, I thought the thing was going to collapse. Yeah, one more round might be even enough. And now this thing, he's playing with fire here. There we go, that's finally dead. I can understand why he's trying to hop in and hop out of that garrison. As you can see right here, one mortar round will completely devastate his forces, taking, what, 3 models, 4 models? 4. And doing so much damage to the others that is almost not even fair. Dave, in the meantime, has gone for that rifle company, which means the Easy 8s can be called in. And a fuel cache has been completed for the Germans. Interesting. Now, supply cargo, excuse me, supply drop zone. This is always such an interesting ability. Gives you a lot of variety depending on what you want to call in. Now, I don't know if with the caches, if it determines that to be then fuel or munitions, or if you can't call it then. I don't know 100%, so I'm sure somebody out there will correct me. But it can give you, again, either 150 munitions or 50 fuel. And for the cost of 200 manpower, that's, an entire, just a minute really. So keep your troops moderately okay and reap huge, huge rewards. MG will keep the strategic point safe. One burst of fire going to be enough to get these guys down on the ground, I would imagine. There we go. Suppressed already, but not quite pinned. There's not that much health in them either, so I'm very, very surprised they're not completely taken out. Right from the moving around to the flank with the lieutenant. So they got them pinned, but it's not going to be enough. I imagine these guys are going to bolt for the cover in just a second here. Rear echelon, excuse me, Osttruppen, the German version of rear echelons, really. are hopping into this garrison, and we're going to get forced right back out as soon as this mortar sets up, I'm sure.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
You know, to the north... Oh, okay, so this was a fighting position right here. An MG getting taken out by Pioneer Squad.
Overrunning one of our capture points.
That's a good bit of damage done, and that's, 60 munitions lost by the Americans. It's nothing to sneeze at. It's not great, but it's not terrible either. Osttroop, in the meantime, being very annoying, capturing out the connecting territory for some of the American fuel. And now with that dead, the Pioneers have free reign to move away, and these Osttroopen have free reign to pick up the fuel point in favor for the Germans. So a good heads-up play there. But what are we looking at for game state right now? 479 to 387. The U.S. is just trumping all over the Germans, I feel. And Von Ive is not teching up really with any kind of his buildings. He has one real engineer squad, and he's up here in the north doing some good work. But the rest of his army is getting pulled apart by the superior fighting ability of these Americans. 50 cal's going to just do crazy amounts of damage. You can see immediately, yes, there goes the MG42. And now there's going to be, what is that, a M2 flamethrower, of course. M2 flamethrower now on top of the Dave's rear echelons in the south. Going to make this a 2-to-1 cap in favor of the Americans yet again. 477 to 382, though. Germans are finally falling back. I'm wondering, does that mean that we're going to see some real tech structures here? Well, it does look like it. It seems like someone's putting it down. There we go. Support Armor Corps going up as a captain comes out for the Americans. Not 100% sure why, but he's getting a Zook out of that, and he's going to go and supervise the production time of any ordered units. Always kind of fun. Not sure why he was supervising the company command post, but okie dokie. I think Osttroopen are sort of like the German version of conscripts. They're going to kind of rush forward as much as they can and get toasted while that happens. But you know what? You throw enough of them at a problem, they'll eventually take it out. I hate kind of feeling like that, though. It seems like a really bad way to be thinking about your army. P4 is being built by the Germans, and the Americans do not yet have any real either AT threat, nor do they have any T to match up well with it. The question is, how can Von Ivan push this advantage with the P4? It's going to be a little bit of time before... how long, Dave, before you call in your major? Not too much longer. Another minute. Interesting. Interesting indeed. In the north, in the meantime, we'll see that this 50 cal is going to get... Ooh, excuse me, not in the north. A little bit of an okey doke there. I always think this position right here should be a heck of a lot further north than it is, but really around the center part of the map. Osttroopen, in the meantime, get roasted and toasted by these rear echelons. These guys are chasing them away. How's veterancy looking? Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Osttroopen aren't bad, per se. They just are far from stellar. Well, this mortar is doing a good job. He's going to find himself alone and caught out, though. And if he's not careful, you're going to see him picked up. He's retreating right now, but he's not dead yet. Pioneer Squad coming up forward, so he's going to get carved up by this BAR. P4's in the area, but he's not coming around to back him up. That's a shame. That is a shame. As soon as one backs away, another flamethrower comes to the fore, and now we're going to see supply drop zone up to the northern side. So the first amount of fuel being dropped on down with, not Volkswagen Ideas, with Osttroopen squads up there to secure it as we speak. There's one. And two. P4 kind of troops around. He's going to be able to pick on this fuel cache. Where's that 57mm? He's in the center part of the map. It's a good decision, I think, by the Americans. Taking the center position is always... It seems like it should be a bad idea. But it can be really, really strong if you can hold on to it. So yes, the P4 will be able to take out the fuel cache, and it will take one round as it backs away. It deflects off the armor, though.
The capture point is under attack.
And in the meantime, MG42 putting fire into the lieutenant. and a 50 cal behind, putting fire into these Osttruppen. So the super cheap infantry wave assaults are essentially having an effect, but it's like throwing waves at a sandcastle, just slowly wearing Dave down. And with those supply drops, which again do an incredible amount of economy over the long run, he can already make another tank should he desire to do so. And there we go, here comes another P4 coming on in, and with two P4s on the map, first of all, here comes the Major at long last. With two P4s coming onto the map, it's going to be a little bit of time before Dave can get any sort of easy 8 to contest him. Fix this barrage bug. I'm not sure which barrage bug we're talking about right now. But okay. Both Pioneers coming on in. And okay, they have this 50 cal being set up just in front, and the question is, can they get... Oh no, one's getting pinned immediately. Again, that 50 caliber is a fearsome foe. And with two of them, I do not relish the proposition of being a Pioneer in this world right now. Wherever they are, it just seems like just get plastered. MG42s, though, doing some good work. You can see the pinned Pioneer squad, the P4 coming up in the background. Kind of fearsome in the distance. He's going to take some fire from this 57mm, a shot or two at least. No. No, he doesn't. Instead, he's just kind of peeking out, peeking back, and peeking out, and peeking back. 377 to 382. The Germans are slowly taking the center position. They're taking horrendous losses to do it, but they're slowly taking it. That's the important thing. Yikes, now that that MG42 is using that AP incendiary ammo, he's not going to reach the 57mm. It's a lucky, lucky thing for the 57mm, but now there is a... that's called a double flank. And I believe this will be the end of the 57mm. A couple shots coming out, but not going to be enough. Damaged engine coming on in. Thank you so much, rifle grenades, and I believe one more shot should do it. There we go, so uncrewed right there. So Dave is down quite a bit now. He has been able to damage one of these P4s rather heavily. Now there's a Zook coming in. He's going to do a little bit of damage, not really enough. In rear echelons as well, so rear echelons has Zook as well, as might be standard these days. And more Osttruppen coming on in. I guess one of the squads did go down. Both MG42s pushed back to home base. And the captain going down now too. Question is, oh my gosh, there's double Zooks on this rear echelon squad. So there goes one. Intelligently backing away. One more round, one more salvo might have done it actually. Alright, but overall loss is what's happened here. Well, we do see...
They got wiped out.
We do see that one of the Pioneer squads has gotten picked off, and he's coming on forwards again to kind of put some repair work, I hope, into... Nope, not into that one.
Line just got cut off.
Want to see another... No, we're not seeing another one being made. So what's he doing here? Oh, we've seen Von Ivan take this position here. Osttruppen now picking up a Zook, making them a little bit more durable, a little more effective all around. But indeed, 377 to 358. The game is not 100% even, but neither is it really... How do I put this? Neither is it favoring, though, one player any kind of certainty. Osttruppen now up here to the north, and you see all these Americans are caught out in the open. There's a lot of red cover right there. And, oh my gosh, if this had been a machine gun, this could have been beautiful. B-E-A, beautiful. But no, luckily for the Americans, it was not. It's just some Osttruppen squads.
Tank destroyer is ready for orders.
And there they go. They're backing away in kind of disarray. M36 getting called in instead of an easy 8. I'm not sure I agree with that particular decision. I have to reassure myself that the cost doesn't make sense to me. I would have gone for that easy 8. And I don't even like it. So... Alright, but Jackson is out. Let's see if he can ride this guy to victory. With two enemy tanks, it's not going to be easy.
The enemy is overrunning overrunning one of our capture points.
And indeed, we'll see his riflemen are going to go and play bird dog for this particular Jackson. Throwing a round way the heck down range. Things have that crazy, crazy shot. A couple of rounds impacting, sending it away. 2 shots, putting it back was about 1/3 of its health. And a good decision there. Now we have another Pioneer squad coming on out to repair these tanks. Considering how much damage it just took and how quickly they took it, probably a good idea. So it's worth noting, von Ivan is not actually, first of all, teching into Tier 3, nor has he really even built any real tech structures. He has built 1. Just a support armored core. He's built 2 tanks from it. And he could afford a 3rd one if he wanted to. He doesn't seem to be wanting to, though, either. Some mines are going down this road to the south, and he controls both the horizontal and the vertical as it comes to fuel here.
AT gun ready.
Another AT gun being made, good decision there, but the Germans do control a 2-to-1 cap, though that's going to be changing rather quickly as these Osttroopers will find themselves slaughtered by riflemen and this Major at close range. Is he able to do enough damage? No, not quite. Major goes away, there goes the Osttrooper as well, and there's a 3rd P4 coming on in. So P4 is getting slowly repaired. Where is this other one? He's up. He's not doing anything. This could be a perfect time to throw down and repair a heck of a lot faster. But he's not doing that, unfortunately. Indeed, I'm wondering, will he throw down even maybe this railroad artillery support? If nothing else, get rid of this church. Yes, that means he won't get to use it for himself, but no, will it mean that the Americans cannot have a hard point outside of their base. Jackson puts a round on, and we're going to see a rifle grenade coming out. Yes, we do. Damaged engine, and that's going to be a bit of a problem.
We're losing a capture
There's P4, but instead, nope, we're going to see the rifleman getting carved to pieces. Mortar putting rounds on in? No. Actually, not even remotely.
remaining.
Interesting. Oh, there it is. Okay, finally seeing those rounds start to pepper on in. Where is that? Oh, I couldn't even see it for some reason. I don't know how I missed it.
We're losing a capture point.
With the Cal coming down in just a second. There we go. Railroad artillery support coming on out. Where's the first round coming in? Okay, you know what? You always say that this railroad artillery support is completely worthless, but it did allow
Is under attack.
this entire group to force it either into retreat or, you know, if nothing else, really protecting this Osttrooper squad. You don't want to hang around and just maybe get caught by the shells. You want to move away quickly before you do get caught by them,
Capture point is
for
being
sure.
overrun.
And finally, folks, we're going to see my favorite old friend. We're going to see ourselves an Ostwind. And where are those Pioneers? Pioneers are, one of them's down to the south. The other one, of course, is in the thick of it, because these guys are real soldiers. They're putting fire in and taking out that machine gun. That's a good win right there. Even if they lose this guy, nope, get inside the house. Oh, excuse me, inside God's house. And might be enough to stave off the attack for right now. No, never mind, there they go. MG-42 covering the retreat, though. And I missed the moment where he lost another Osttrooper squad, but von Ivan is continually he's starting to lose a lot of his veterancy on the field. His armored vehicles only having a barest minimum of it, which is not so much unlucky, but just unfortunate. But now, 2 tanks and an Ostwind against a 57mm and a Jackson. This is either going to be a brilliant, brilliant engagement, or it's going to go horribly, especially since the Jackson has that armor-piercing round. The hyper shot, if you will. The rifleman pulling fire into his MG-42. Is he going to get away in time? No, he's not. Mortar shell taking him out. The rear armor hit coming in on this P4, so it doesn't seem to be wherever he goes getting slammed here. P4s, turn your barrels, my friends. Bring the right target under fire. Jackson gets hit, but doesn't know the other one's got to be there. He's got to know that. Oof! And there it goes. He's just thrown the hyper shot really into that P4. Oh, is that thing scary.
One of our capture points.
Really, that thing's kind of scary. one shot took out a P4 from 2/3 health. That is redonkulous. 377 to 223 in the meantime. Americans have gone down quite a bit in terms of VPage. But Dave does not seem particularly cowed by that. We're going to see another attempt to utilize that hyper shot. Not quite yet. Instead, the Ostman's coming up and around, folks. Is he looking to find a target or two? I would like to think so. Instead, we're going to see supply drops coming on in to deliver the 150 munis for the Germans. It doesn't have troops immediately in the area to pick it on up. Just has to make sure he doesn't lose it. Very embarrassing. But excellent. So the MG42 doing exactly what it needs to do. Going and suppressing and pinning in many cases.
We've dropped to 200
And there goes another tank. So this Jackson is starting to look like a god here. And with the help of this 57mm, it's not going to be pretty. Yep. Yep. So watch all these things hustle on forwards, but it's not accomplishing a ton. Indeed, Osman to the north, he's got 3 kills already. Here comes the captain following on up, trying to engage this Ostman troop. And he's going to immediately regret doing that. Backing away swiftly here. And there comes another railway artillery support. Not, again, sure why he's utilizing it. It takes forever in a day for that stuff to get impact. Again, if you're putting it in an area where his opponent was being far more immobile, it'd be great, but he's not. First of all, imagine if that thing actually hit the Jackson. It would be beautiful, but no. Oh, sir. But still, 377 to 182. Dave has half the amount of tickets that Von Ivan does, and I guess I can't really complain too much about Von Ivan's position relative to his opponent. Although his opponent is really starting to get some crack troops out on the field. Nearly all of his line infantry is full vet. His officers, when they exist, are in pretty decent shape. Captain, of course, is new. When you can't really expect those guys from behind the lines to actually be effective fighters. They ride a desk, for Pete's sake. And now the Strug is coming on in for the Germans. I don't know if that's going to be able to stand up to the discarded Sable rounds, though, or the tungsten, whatever they call it, the HVAP rounds from the Jackson. And indeed, I'm always terrified when that thing's going to open fire and just, speak its lethal payload into the side of the P4. Finally, he's bringing an Easy 8 on in. Is he being supervised out? That'd be kind of a good decision here. No, he's not. Indeed, it's just going to be a kind of very standard call coming on in. Lieutenant, in the meantime, getting caught up by his Ostwind. And while it does a good number against poor guys right here, another barrage coming in. Okay, this could be beautiful, it could be awful. I don't know which one it's going to be. Okay, finally getting some kills with this stupid thing at least. MG42 that got captured? Really? I didn't even notice that got captured. Oof. Finally getting some kills. Finally getting some kills. Germans are able to remove those guys from their traitorous hands. Not quite able to... Never mind, there they go, they pick it up. 3 shells coming on in, they finally are able to decrew and remove one of those. Ostwind in the meantime goes down, taken out by the Easy 8 and the Jackson. So now he's going to be really, really kind of terrified about this because that guy on the move does a ton of damage. Strug is on the area, is on the map though, and putting rounds into the side of the Easy 8, but the Easy 8's got great accuracy on the move. Watch, it speaks again, and between the Jackson and that, the Strug comes in and the Strug exits. And there it is again. Jeez, that thing's going to pop. Okay, so 75% of his health, right? Goes down to about 1/3. This guy's going to die as well. There he goes. The 57mm has been decrewed, but at the loss of 2 armored vehicles. Not enough, really. Not even remotely enough. And von Ivan now is in real danger of dropping this game. Of course, I say that when he's got more than twice the amount, excuse me, when his opponents have more than twice the amount of tickets. But as the Shug now gets outflanked, he goes down. It's Easy 8 now has been on the field for what, about a minute and a half? He's got 2 vehicle kills, at least 4 vehicle kills, never mind. And 1 friendly kill, because you know what, you can't have a Sherman that doesn't have a friendly kill every now and again. Osttroop again flooding on forward, trying to put some pressure into this Jackson, but it's not going to be enough. And more fuel is being brought in, so maybe some more vehicles can be called in at the last second. Infantry company in as well. Not sure why he did that. I would go for a light to mechanized company and brought in Faust's, excuse me, Shreks, but that's just me.
Machine gun team, ready for orders.
Chasing these guys is not the best idea. Might be able to get 1 shot off into this ambo. That could be enough. Yep, see, these guys get hammered no matter where they are. So rear armor hit, good shot right there. If they can get 1 more shot off, that'd be great, but it's not going to happen. And oh no! Okay. I was like, please don't let there be Americans right there. That'd be so embarrassing. Flamethrower going to be enough, I think. Shake and bake this captain out of here. And I'm not sure who's going to on that one. Okay, so the Germans did pick up all of them, but they get forced away as soon as they pick up everything. And with the death of those armored vehicles, the Americans really do have a strong position. The death of those German vehicles, rather, but the German armored corps, let's call it. I feel kind of bad that the P4s were committed piecemeal and they died piecemeal. It's a real big loss right there, and it's hitting me kind of hard, you know, mentally and spiritually and emotionally. 50 cal team in the meantime is enough to suppress, but not enough to pin the Osttroop before they take that spot. And this MG42 is trying to line up before it comes under fire. He's not going to be able to do so, though.
Squad ready for action.
Between the rifleman and that 50 cal and the Easy 8, it is not going to work. There we go. Mine goes out. That mine's been there for a very long time. There's a good amount of damage to the Easy 8. And with a rifleman in the area, it's possible they might take some losses here. Once again, though, railway artillery support being called on in. And I don't still understand 100% why he does this. This could be beautiful, though. Yep, there goes a rifleman squad. He evaporates. Really more just luck that's keeping him in this even remotely. But I guess sometimes in war is all you can really depend on.
A capture point is under attack.
Stovepipe getting back into the fight, and this 50 cal is going to cover the Osttroop and just an incredible curtain of firepower. And 33 into this game, 360 to 126. The Germans are still up 240 some odd tickets. But again, I feel like if the Stug, for example, does not manage to stay competitive,
Capture point is being overrun.
then von Ivan is just going to be, I think, ground underneath the treads of this American group. Osttroop able to kind of stay a little bit competitive, trading out decently well against this lieutenant. But eventually they decide to back away. Probably a good decision there. Pioneers rushing out in the meantime as well. Another stroke being made. There goes the 4 Pioneers. There goes half the repair corps. And this get used yet again? Okay, so that he just lost the usage of the incendiary AP rounds. And that stovepipe is just throwing out smoke rounds like crazy now, so good decision there. 2 fully kitted up
Target destroyed. Shift fire.
U.S. armored vehicles One Stug is out, another one's being called in as we speak. And I can never really remember how much more would he need to call a third one in. Well, he just basically needs some more manpower. It'd be a good idea. Maybe it'd be a good idea to wait for that last one. I don't know. But 35-12 in, and again, Germans are up a fair bit here. 220 some odd tickets. And veterancy is starting to look pretty bad for the Americans. Only, what, five units that have veterancy, and that counts the squads inside the tanks. Germans are the same way, but the Germans have Osttruppen that have been in the game almost since the World War I. So 16 kills he's not been, now it is he. And this MG42 doing great work for the Germans. And now a legit Sherman coming on in, just a regular M4 Sherman. Pioneers doing exactly what they need to do. Hang out long enough, just barely long enough to see the opponent get decapped. And the Stugs now do have this easy 8 under fire, but between... Okay, my gosh, yes, the Jackson's going to throw out another round and just severely butcher. Yeah, so he goes from 3/4 health down to less than, what, 15%, 20%? It's insane. That thing is way powerful. Osttruppen trying to hang tough just long enough to throw a round. Okay, Faust him, boys! He's one more bazooka shot, and it impacts and skips off the surface. That thing is lucky like crazy. He is lucky. He should be dead. He could have been dead. He could have been killed. Only by the good grace of the almighty Uncle Sam that he was not. And there comes finally that last Stug being called in, and it seems these Pioneers are going to have quite a bit of repair work to be done.
Enemy forces now have 300 points remaining.
Poor Pioneers all by themselves as the Americans go and take control of most of the map yet again. Trip cap now for the USF. And an army supply lead. Yeah, he's saying he kind of screwed it up. That's definitely true. That's definitely true. But you know what? It was a good game. Definitely a good game. I don't agree with all the usage of this nonsense. And let's talk about the strat I guess they tried to pull off for a second. Osttruppen are they're a viable opportunity if you have the right support for them. And opening up with 2 MGs and 2 or 3 squads of Osttruppen is enough firepower to get you through. But as the game progresses, they can't. They don't trade well.
Crowds are sniffing around our asses. Tactical point being captured.
They're there to take points and to die, basically. 50 cal that's ugly snout out the side of this house right here, going to suppress 2 squads of Osttruppen.
We're losing a capture point. 50 cal up. Gun crew just got wiped out.
How am I not finding this? This is pathetic.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Ah, down here, okay. Okay. There we go. But no, here comes the final push, I think, from the Germans. Excuse me, from the Americans. M4 Sherman kind of coming on forward, throwing rounds into the rear of the Stug. Is that the smoke dischargers that were being utilized there? No, I don't think so. Yes, it was. Never mind. Forgive me. If Jackson doesn't prowl on forward, he can get at least 1 kill pretty darn easily, especially with the whole HVAP thing. But 207, 126, and I'm shocked that the Easy 8 hasn't just been throwing around with this machine gun all day, every day. But no, that's why we have this M4A3 with the high X rounds. Kills 3 models in just 1 blow. And 1 tiny, like 2 or 3 round burst, we'll see the last MG crewman getting cut down.
at 200 points.
Speed this up a little bit because I get the idea that Von Ivan's probably going to tap out pretty darn soon. MG to the north, and once again we're going to see the M4A3. High X in these guys into Kingdom Come, I think. That's one, taking off 50% of their health. One more round, maybe. Okay, not enough time, never mind. Captain coming on forwards, that's going to be taken over, and Osttruppen are now on the wrong side of this house. So we're going to speed this up. Stowe creeping on in. Is he going to try to put some firepower into this house? No, not going to. Instead, he's charging after the Easy 8. Or the M4A. No, M4A3 is going to be the first one to receive their firepower. But Jackson's in the area. Missed the first round. One more round might be enough to take out one of these Strokes. No rear armor hit. Never mind. There goes the M4A3 gets brewed on up.
A medium tank was just lost.
But Easy 8, there goes one. Another Stroke's going to go down in just a second here. So he's going to get locked off. There he goes. And the other one goes again. That's going to be pretty much all she wrote. The Germans hanging out in review. Kind of just chilling, realizing it's probably better for them to just go back to their various lands. And just before we do that, though, let's just see kind of the amazing detail here. Ah, this game's so beautiful. Doesn't matter how many hours you play this game, it's so beautiful. I think Von Ivan's going to tap out any moment here. Yeah, he's just going to pull back to base. He cares about his men's lives. He just want to see them killed, I hope. If he doesn't do that, then he's a monster. But I think right now we're doing okay. 42-10, 117 to 126. There we go. And that's true. Actually, that's kind of true. The whole Osttruppen idea would work pretty well against the Brits. It would just completely and totally, I think, give them too many targets to adequately lock down. But in the case of this game, it did not work. End score, 114 to 126. The 126 pulled out the victory by way of surrender. Dave got a lot of work out of this Jackson and this Easy 8. Look at that, 30 kills. 31 if you count his own dude. Nevertheless, folks, thanks so much for tuning in. I'm going to be signing off. This is Con Ulrich wishing you guys all a great day. Take it easy, everybody.